Yeah. So right now I'm going to bring up the completed version of what's in the Discord, the repo. So Cherry, I don't know if you've ran it yet, but it looks hey, you guys too, you can learn how to make a little Deltarune simulator. Be my little audience. Okay. Hey, do we have a speaker on here? Because there should be audio.
You have your output set on your settings.
How do I check out?
You go to your settings, and then you just look at audio. Sound. Go to sound. Scroll down. Sound. Then display from audio. That should be it now. Here you go. Try it. Like go back to Unity.
Oh wait, no, there's no audio at this part.
Oh, bro.
So, in the little template project, if you build it or run it, it'll look like this. You got the video game phone association built into the workshop. And so this is the template project I made, and I will be teaching like how to expand off of. So we got a little battle pool set up here. I recreated this from scratch from just looking at those. And also, right as we has a control set on the title screen. If you move around the menu, you can fight scenes. Each of these. So let me go through each of them. So the menu functionality. There's also sub menu. Normally, I don't think they give percentages for you, but I figured for ease of use, I'd put one on there. You can use X to exit out. The Act menu, you have 4 options to act, as well as a description on the right side for, like, just a brief description of what you're doing. Okay, making sure my mic was capturing. So you got check, you got flirt, you got... That's the description for him. You got a heal, and you got yell. So why would I need a heal option? That's because if you go to items, ball gang. So you got a spare menu. You can try to spare sands if you want. Events, no TP in this either. I'll tell you. I could have made TP. I just. So let's try to spare sands, right? Boom. Name's not yellow. So we have our first bullet pattern. So bullets work much the same as like a regular Deltarune. You avoid them, dodge them. Once I get into the code a little bit, I'll talk about how those bullets work. The system of actually bullets in the project. It's really neat. Like everything, it's all really, I guess, modifiable. Everything's its own little component that you can swap around. So I'm gonna try to do an attack on sands here. Got a little animation. We have our second bullet pattern. These ones just go to a fixed point and cut it off. Hitting them, keep quicker a little bit. And then so I think there's 4 options in there right now, but you can make it as much as you want. Everything in the template project is highly customizable. The whole thing was made with the idea that you're gonna probably mess it up, or not mess it up, but you're gonna mess around with it. You're gonna what currently has like 2 options, you're gonna add like 20, and it has the capabilities to support that. So let's act, and guys, what should we do? What should we do to Sans here? We should flirt. Should flirt. Okay.
Let's see.
Oh, that's cute. So I didn't add text boxes. Normally this would be when they would like talk to you, right? I didn't add that because I thought that would be hard. So, right now there's no text box. There's no like. Right now we do have text box at the bottom. I'm gonna just show one more round of attacks because I'm really proud of this last bullet pattern. So each bullet, there's several different bullet types that I programmed, and each of them are highly modifiable. Like that one, that's just the code for there supports anything like you want to bounce off the walls. It doesn't just support ones that look like the blue logo. Music looping is just Unity default music looping. It's nothing special. That's why you have the 2 seconds of dead audio there. But other than that, there is, as you see now, also because we flirted with Sans, we now have 80% mercy on him. Everything else is, you know, like if you kill Sans in the battle, you spare Sans, which you can lastly, if he kills you, he kills you, right? It's kind of fresh. Yeah. Goes this, get all game over. Oh. Got little options here. What should we do, guys? Should we give up? Yep. So that's the template project, or at least that's what happens when you run the executable. But if we dive into it, actually, there's a lot we can do with it. So first things first, there's 3 different scenes in the project. You got just the main menu scene, which that one only includes just a canvas that you saw at the start. Now it's gonna get chunky on me. But yeah, the main menu scene. Okay, we're still loading it. It's main menu scene is just a canvas with little details on it. As if you go into the scene view here, you got these 2 guys in the foreground, and then, or like in the main part of the scene, and then on the canvas you just have the text. Everything there is controlled in one script. Same thing for the game over scene. So just gonna check the Discord. Yeah, no one's. Okay. Same thing for the game over scene. Everything is just one script. It just brings down the text from the viewport. Like in the viewport canvas, it brings down text here, brings up text here, and then a script runs that like reads input. All the scripts. So like everything like actually interesting is going to be in the battle scene. Not here on the canvas, but if you like zoom in over here on like Chris here, you got your background, you got the battle blocks, you got Sans. Everything that you're gonna want to modify. Well, okay. A lot of all the code is sorted in here. So the only code you want to mess with really is the Chris menu, which if you look at all the prefabs on the right there, this one, that's a lot. That's a lot of customizable options. You can find the Chris menu attached to the canvas Chris UI, and it's got different sections. Positions and highlights, those are just the, let me actually zoom in on this. So Chris menu is the little pop-up box here. It zooms up and down depending on a internal state. And then it has 2 select, like if you saw in the scene, like you select your option, it shows the icon in yellow and it shows the name for your option. That's actually just attached to that's attached to this object UI selected. It's just a bunch of hidden objects that overlay over them. I don't think this is how they do it in Deltarune, but in the sprite sheet that I ripped from, the Chris UI already had like the act and such just attached to it. So I figured I would just overlay an image. And it works out pretty well because if you turn this one on, it's just right over it. And so that's all done in the Chris UI. But why Chris UI is is important to modify. Not much of these. Okay, so it has the act descriptions like the Lenny face as you saw earlier, and it has the options names. But the really important part, if we open the script for Chris menu, uh, beware 450 line program. All right. If we open up here, um, there's going to be several regions. There's the main region up here is all just about navigating the UI and like button presses. So in the update, we just have all the checks for button presses. Specifically just checking like, oh hey, if you're in the main menu and you're selecting the fight button, what's it gonna do? It's gonna open the attack menu. It's gonna open the act menu. It's gonna tell you that I didn't have time to implement this feature. But the other regions are the health, that one is just updating the health UI for Chris whenever you get hit. The message text this is all of the stuff relating to the text box, how it displays text one character at a time. It's just my coroutines and stuff that I created in order to do that. All you need to know is that anytime you want to write text on there, you use the display text function, which as you see is used quite a bit with the 11 references, which takes an input string and it takes an input string and then you ask it if you want to start the battle afterwards, which already all of the act functions and parts where you would want to use the display text, they already have the correct setting for if you want to start the battle or not. The real important part to want to modify is this last region menu choices, which a lot of variables up here, a little scary. Ignore those for now. All you need to know is that for each of these, you have your attack menu and you have your spare menu and you have your act menu. The attack menu, honestly, all you need to worry about is just how much damage you want to do. That's in this little loop here. Just enemy health minus equals however much damage you want to do with your attack. The attack system in this template project is not the same as it is in Deltarune. Deltarune, you have the little bar that you want to tap, I think it's Z, while the bar is overlined. This one I just made it automatic because it was 3 days ago when I made this. And then it does sound effects, it does the animation. So everything in the attack menu you don't really need to look at. The spare menu is largely the same. It's just talking about, hey, if Sans is at 100 mercy, make his name yellow and make it so that in the spare menu, if you click spare, the game ends. Or otherwise, it will tell you a little personalized message. So anywhere where you see display text, if you're creating your own battle, you'll want to probably adjust the text. And a way of finding every single place where it says display text so you don't have to just hunt them all down, just go on display text, click on the references, boom, every single time. And you could probably just change all of those if you want. Last thing though, okay, first exciting thing is the act menu. So the act menu, this gives the functionality for all 4 of the act menu options. So this is where you can actually have fun with it and make it unique. So for this, for the template project, it has 4. It has the check, where it just displays, a butchered version of the check from Undertale for Sans. The first menu option is just flirt, which I just have you increase the mercy by 8 and it gives you a random message. If you don't know how to do if all this code looks scary, right, and you don't really understand C# code, I would just recommend looking at what it ends up doing. A lot of what I do, I didn't document a lot of this, but a lot of it tries to be explanatory. Like I have functions like name, display text. I label what each section does. So a lot of it is kind of reverse engineerable. So like if you see display text, you can see, okay, it displays that. And like increasing the mercy score is just enemy.mercy. For the second option, this one was just in the health, like the heal option, because there's no items, so I wanted there to be a way to heal. That just, you increase the Chris's health. The Chris health.I, that's just a singleton for Chris health, because I need to reference it a lot. It's a class that deals with all the hit interactions. And then the final one here is the yelling one, which I actually may do a random thing each time. Oh, Sam's here. Hey, Sam. You skipping Jackaloni?
He put on that YouTube video.
Oh, heck yeah. And Jake, you're just skipping Jackaloni just cause? Alright, so TLDR, chrismenu.cs, act menu, you get to change all the act options. And they're pretty self-explanatory. It says like, oh, if the option is this one, do this. We can now get to the fun part, which is bullets. Also, Sam, I just want to show you real quick what this looks like, because you're just walking in here. There's... So this is the worst bullet pattern there is, but I'll show you the next one. So, as you see now and as you've seen before, bullets have different behaviors. And all of them come from, all scripts controlling bullets can be found in the folder of scripts, combat, and bullets. Ignore all this. Oh, battle lines is actually kind of important. I'll talk about that later. But go into bullets, go into bullet types, and you have your different types of bullets. So the bullet system uses polymorphism and object-oriented. Yeah, it uses inheritance. It uses inheritance. So everything is based off of the base class bullet, which all the base class, like the base class bullet is really simple. It has a few variables, which most of them are optional. So, but the main one is it has bullet damage, and it has a variable destroy on contact. So like if Chris hits it, should you destroy? And then, and should it destroy itself after a certain amount of time, right? At the end of every, so bullets in this, so then each of these movements are extensions of bullets. So this is a single movement bullet where from over its lifespan, it goes from the starting point to its target, and so the target is a variable. I'll show examples of these later. And actually, I think I'll start with examples now. So the bullets by default are so prefabs here are labeled into a few sections. The slash, you don't have to worry about, that's just the attack slash. And booster is something a friend of mine worked on. This one actually, it moves the heart in whatever direction it's pointing. I never got to use it, but it's a really unique bullet. But we got bullets, we got a few different kinds. These are all by default, all totally customizable. These are just the ones here already. So we got the circle warning bullet, which this uses the warning bullet script, which warning bullets, you might have saw them on some of the attacks there. They're gray up first and then they turn white. When they're white, you can take damage from them. So that's when their collider pops up. So it just has damage and it has lifespan variables, like because it's just an extension of the bullet, and it has an appear speed, so just how fast it appears. Actually, let me zoom in here. The next one is the. Oh, this one I think is just the regular bullet. Yeah, this is just regular bullet. It's just a big white circle, doesn't fade in or anything. That's just what the normal bullet script will look like. Next one is linear movement. So what linear movement ones do, it's the same thing as before. It has the bullet damage, has destroy on contact, has a lifespan. And so linear movement ones have to have a lifespan because they go from wherever you spawn them in at the start to this position right here. And so we'll see how that's implemented later. This is one that goes to bottom of the screen. This is one that goes to the top of the screen. And then the last one I created was a DVD hit corner one. So this one is a wall bouncing bullet. What this one means is it goes, it starts outside the box, and then after going inside for, I think I just make it wait 0.5 seconds, it starts having collision. So it will start bouncing off of the walls. So it wasn't actually like fixed positions earlier. It just bounces off all those walls. And so it just has a speed for how fast you want it to go and a initial velocity. So mainly that's like the directional component of velocity. All of the bullets are spawned in via waves. So for example, the attack where there's, okay, let me show an example here. The attack here, where a bunch of the warning bullets fade in. See how that's like, each of these balls is a different bullet, right? So total that's like 17 different bullets. What the wave scripts do is it shows an order for which the bullet should appear. So for all the bullets fading in at once, you have an array of the prefab to spawn in. You have an array of how much delay between each spawn. And then you have an array for the starting location of each bullet. And that's all. And then you have just a timer for how long should the bullets remain on screen after, or like how long until either the next wave spawns or until the combat's over. So for instance, the DVD logo one, that one's bouncing around for a while. So it's just, it says wait for 10 seconds after spawning the DVD logo and then end the combat. So once again, waves, they just control when, where, and how to spawn the bullets. And then the final thing is attacks. So attacks are just, what Sans here uses. In the bullet manager, this is an array of attacks, and every combat, it just goes to the next one, and if it goes to the end, it goes back to the start. That's how the attack array works. And an attack object just has a field for what wave should spawn in. So in that attack example I just showed you, and I'll play it again. Those combine for one combat, and each attack prefab just controls what spawns in during one combat. So all this is just two waves in an array. So to create your very own attack, all you have to do is just either create just a blank game object or just copy paste one from here. Well, this is a wave object. Oops. So to create your own, create your own attack, all you have to do is copy and paste and decide what waves you want to spawn in one after the other. So the search bars here is pretty bad, so I just type wave because they're all named wave. So like if we want to just do DVD logo after DVD logo after DVD logo and throw that into the bullet manager, you can just do that. So this is going to now spawn because we made DVD attack 2. Right. Wait. Oh no, that was a wave I think I did. No, I don't know where that went. Oh no, it's here. It's named weather attack. Let me fix that. So all you need to do to create an attack is just attach waves to an attack prefab and then put it into the bullet manager there. So now, because it's element 0, our first combat is just going to be wave after wave of DVD logos spawning. I think it may have a 5-second delay according to the wave. So every 5 seconds here, we're going to just see another DVD logo pop. And you could do this. You could just have all the same bullets spawning over and over. Over time, I think this gets a little impossible. But the idea is with the attacks that you'll think of unique waves that will work together, like how for the attack I was showing earlier with defeating in path, it forces you into the top right, and then the next wave of attacks automatically instantly starts attacking the top right because it knows you're right there. So I'm going to delete this example right here. I'm just going to put, what's the name? Oh, I need to drag in an attack for that. Making a wave is exactly the same, or making a wave is very similar. So all you need to do is just, like I said before, time between bullets, type of bullet, and bullet spawn location. And so you just look at what bullet you want. Let's say I want a DVD attack that comes from the top down. I'll place a DVD in the main scene over here. I'll get its start position. I'll copy over here. I'm gonna copy a wave here, and I want one bullet. I want it to spawn instantly, and I want that bullet to be a DVD. Click on the little DVD, and I'm gonna say it spawns at this location from copy and pasting. So all I did was I just clicked on here, right-clicked on the position, copied it, pasted it into the pasted it into the new wave I created, and I want to say it lasts 5 seconds. This probably is not going to work to my benefit though, because the DVD, even though it has a field where I can adjust its velocity and direction, that's the prefab. So if I wanted to make a DVD that attack like this that just starts by going straight down, I would have to actually create a new DVD object, because the DVD object here, you can't change the values between each attack. You have to just create a new prefab of it. So if I wanted to make it just go straight down or down and a little bit to the right, I would change the right direction to 0.0, let's say 2, and it should just go in here before hitting the wall and bouncing around. So I'm going to go into the waves with the new wave. I'm going to not use DVD bullet. I'm going to use the new one we just created, which just says DVD logo bullet 1. And I'm going to add that to a new attack. I'm just going to rename that new DVD attack. and select the wave we just created, which was called which was called wave 3, I think. And in the bullet manager, I will drag in the new DVD attack for the first element in the combat array. Oh, I forgot one thing. You'll see it right here. There it goes. That's because we put that there as like a, you know, as a reference to help us create the bullet pattern. Be sure to delete that afterwards. That will just appear in your game. So now, first combat. Oh, he's going up. There he goes. He went up because if we look at the initial velocity, it's positive y velocity. So if we put that in the negative direction, he will now flop on down to start. And we can see that right here. Or not. Maybe we don't. Maybe we see it now. There we go. So now it's in, and it's bouncing off the stuff. Alright. That's basically... Before we continue, any questions so far on how this works? Yeah.
How did it collide with the box?
Oh, how did it collide with the box? Okay.
It didn't collide when it entered the box.
Oh, okay. So, for questions, go into the bullet scripts and bullet types. Let's go to the... Also, you can just look at the bullet prefab for DVD, and you can see, okay, we are using a wall bouncing bullet. So let's see what wall bouncing bullet does. Wall bouncing bullet is a child of the bullet class. We're going to see that on the start. We're going to start two coroutines, which is move and startup. Move just keeps it moving the whole time. I love my great syntax of wall true. But it also starts the startup coroutine, and this tells you to allow the bullet through the walls for the first 0.5 seconds. First entry is going to be false, and first entry is going to be true, and then after 0.5 seconds it will be false. And here we say to on collision with either of these, just return a true immediately, or return immediately if first entry is true. So we're just setting a variable to allow the bullet to go through walls just so it can start outside, and so it's not kind of unfair and just spawns inside the thing.
So it's because inheritance.
What?
That's what causes the collision to be ignored at the beginning?
No. Speaking of inheritance, well, kind of unrelated, but anytime you want to deal with interactions for when the bullet hit, like when the heart takes damage or anything, everything is in this chrishealth.cs, and it just has an on trigger enter. All the bullets use trigger colliders as opposed to regular colliders, so you can phase through them as much as you want, just you'll take damage. The one other thing is that all bullets are tagged. Oh, no wonder that one doesn't do anything. all bullets are tagged with bullet, otherwise they don't do damage. So the soul, which is the character controller here, has the Chris Health script, and that Chris Health script on trigger enter with anything on the bullet tag, it takes damage. The other thing is that the battle box here, it has some borders here, just to prevent either you or bullets with rigid bodies from leaving. Any other questions on how this works so far? All right.
So once the DVD enters in, that's it. They'll just collide.
Yeah, so after 0.5 seconds, it re-enables collisions basically, but it can still hit you during those 0.5 seconds. All right, if there's no questions, then how about we try to create something? All right. I think the easiest thing to create would be like some bullets or bullet patterns. So what are we thinking? What's your wildest dreams for a bullet pattern here? I see your gears turning.
We haven't seen the fireball.
Haven't seen the fire that one. Okay, so some of these, like the tornado and the fireball, those were made by a friend of mine. They're a little newer to code, and honestly, I don't understand much of theirs. I know that this uses an ellipse movement. I put it in the scripts over here. They use a different approach to the bullets, so they are using not inheritance, but instead, what's the filled in arrow 341? Filled in diamond arrow composition. They're using
Like the diamond one.
yeah, that's that composition. So they're using composition. So what for bullet creation because we kind of worked on bullets independently. So they have their way of doing that. So they have movement system. So you do bullets, you do bullet types. There's this folder movements. So they have movements types that will just be attached to the same object that the default bullet script is attached to. So that creates. So they have linear movement, which just goes from left to right, and they have an ellipse movement, which just goes in like a circular shape. So the fireball there just goes in a little circular shape, but they didn't tag it actually as a bullet, so I don't think it worked before. We can find out if it works. I just need to really quickly open the battle box. Oh. But you can definitely play around with those ones. There's also like making a new bullet script is also really easy. All you do if you want to make your own bullet script that doesn't have any of the movement properties or is just a unique compared to any of the ones made before, you just go in your bullets folder for bullet types, make a new create mono behavior script. What type of bullet? Anything at all.
One that's on one location and goes out, kind of like it starts from one, but then splits off in different directions.
Starts as one and splits off.
I guess you would spawn multiple bullets in one location, and then when they start moving forward, they all go in different directions.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I'll only show you how to do that without creating a new script. But all you would do is create a new. If you wanted to make a new bullet script, you would just create your new script, and then all you would do is change this to bullet. So right here, it's normally you inherit from mono behavior, but you switch that to bullet, and now everything in bullet is now in this. Everything that was in bullet is now in your new script. If you want to override something, like let's say you don't like this update function, you make it a public function first, which public update is terrible, but just hold on, make it a public virtual function, right? And then in your mono behavior script, you can make a public override void up. I think maybe because I said cubic override. And now it will run this update function instead of the bullets update function. But you can do that for any of the functions in the regular bullet class just to override them, or you can just create your own additional functions in the whatever new class you make. I'm going to remove the public update function because that's just bad. But Jake, I'm going to show you how you can very easily make that type of thing you were talking about. So, what you wanted, right? You want multiple bullets to spawn in the same place, but then they split off into different directions, right? That's very easily doable by using our linear movement bullet. So if we go into our bullet array, we go to this one's linear movement, move down. I'm going to make I'm gonna put one here for reference. Let's have it start in the top right here. Maybe let's have it go to the 3 corners. I'm going to make a few of these. I'm just gonna create a folder to hold them all. I'm going to create a few of those. I'm gonna copy here. I'm going to create a few bullets. One's going to have its final destination be the. Actually, let's have one for each corner. So I'm going to copy the position of the top left corner. I'm going to paste its position in the B value here, and I'm going to rename it to top left. So now that is a bullet that goes from wherever to the top left. Gonna do one over here where it goes from wherever to the top right. So all I need to do is I need to copy the prefab and just copy the position that's in here and paste it into the target position value here. I'll do the same real quick for the bottom two. Copying the position and pasting it into its B value, and the last one. No, that one. Last one, I'm just going to make it go to the bottom left. So this seems a bit tedious, but the way that prefabs work, you can't edit it. You can't edit the default values of prefabs for like each individual attack. I guess you can if you really wanted to. You can make a extension of the wave script to go into each child and set its own custom final position. But if you just want to quickly do it, you just make your different destination bullets here. And so now we have linear bullets that move from wherever to the top left, top right, bottom left. And what we can do now using these bullets is we can create we're going to create a wave. Let's say, Jake, where do you want them to start spawning from?
It's just from the left center.
Left center, okay. Let's put one there. And actually, let's make it a little crazy. Let's put one on the right center too. I'm going to make a wave. I'm going to reuse our wave 3 from earlier. I'm going to say each of these spawn at the same time for the first 4. Oh, you know what? All of these just spawn at the same time. And it's going to use our bullets from earlier. So I'm going to open up this folder and I'm just going to, I don't think I can reference both at the same time. So I'm going to drag one there, drag a 2. So now we have bullets that go to the bottom left, bottom right, top left, top right, and they're all going to be starting at this position on the left. So I'm going to go into the waves, go back to my wave 3, and paste. I'm going to paste that for all 4. I'm going to call that one just like spread. I'm also going to make a copy of spread where it's starting from the right side rather than the left. So I'm going to copy the starting position, spread 1 here, going to paste it. So now we have, let's say, spread dash left and spread right. And we can now make an attack. I'm just going to name it spread attack. That just spawns both of those in. Oh, the last thing we want to do with the waves, before I forget, is that waves at the end, they have a little timer for how long, you should wait until spawning the next wave, so you don't just have all the bullets stomp on top of each other. So if we go back to the spread, it says currently if wait 5 seconds, we'll change that to 3. Oh, that was the soundboard. I forgot about that. So with spread attack, I'm going to just use both of those new waves that we created. So I'm going to put 2 waves in it. I'm going to start with spread left, and then go to spread right. And I will put that attack in the game manager, or in the bullet manager. So after all of that, here's what we'll get. Oh, I forgot to delete those 2. Remember what I said. If you're using them as reference, you need to delete them before running the scene. Otherwise, you just now have bullets in the scene. That's good. So now we got them spread it out. Really close. Here, I'm gonna make this just have that as the only attack. So this should implement your. Is this what you were kind of thinking, Jake, with the idea? Yeah. So there's a lot you can do with the bullets already provided, but if you wanted to make new functionality that would follow the player or anything, that's as simple as overriding the update function and you follow the target position, and that target position being Chris's target. So that's pretty simple. Any questions? All right. That's about all I have for you, unless anyone wants to suggest making anything else.
Leon Kennedy fight.
Leon Kennedy fight? Oh, you know what? I should talk about Little Sans here. So all the enemy is, right? This is just an animation that's just playing here. It has a script attached to it, which is Enemy Manager, which makes it blink and such and makes it fade away when you kill it, fade when you spare it, that kind of thing. Oh, it didn't actually show what happens when you spare it. Let me instead it's mercy to 100 by default. Oh, 200, sure, why not? Double spare Sans. Yeah, so all the enemy manager does is, well, it keeps track of the enemy's health and such, but it also keeps track of stuff like sparing. So, boom, made him fade away in the dust. Well, display text comes up, and boom, it sends you back to the title screen. If you wanted to swap him out, all you have to do is go into this. Honestly, you can just remove this and just slap on an enemy manager component to anything, and that will be your enemy. I don't feel like throwing up a random image that I have on my computer, but you can literally fight anything with this template. All right. That's basically it for the template. Everything is on the GitHub and should be very easily downloaded. It is made with a slightly older version of Unity than the current one. So as Cherry, you said, it will tell you like a bunch of warnings like, oh, don't worry, you're gonna damage this project if you open it. It will say like, watch out, do not open this. Just open it. Works fine. Yeah, perfectly fine. I mean, like, I did put a Bitcoin miner in here, but like, it's times are tough. It's like your donation to me for like downloading the project. All right, that's all I have for today. Everything's on the GitHub.
My brain's